Hello everyone, NBZ here, bringing you another battle. Now, before you go saying anything about the team preview, it is not of my creation. This is basically part of my opponent's video, but I've had to kind of snatch his video because, as you already know, I am going through many computer troubles right now, so I do not have the verse recorder file for this particular battle that I did take. However, he uploaded it, so I can still get access to it. Now, before I go talking about the battle and everything, I want to update you on what's going on with my laptop. Essentially, I had to wipe my entire laptop to get it working again, to get the hard drive going, so that's what I did. Meaning that basically lost everything on my laptop. I do have a backup, however, apparently the Dell backup is the giantest piece of shit in the world because it's all proprietary and you have to basically use their program in order to unlock its specific files, .dsb files, and I have no fucking clue how to get them because when I try and run the program, it says that the archive is empty or corrupted, which is a load of dog shit because, it took me like 10 hours to try and back all that shit up, and now apparently it's all corrupted, which is ridiculous. So I'm going to try and take it somewhere. I have it on external hard drive, and maybe I'll be able to get some stuff back. But at the moment, I've lost loads of Mario Kart, I've lost PBR, I've lost just a bunch of shit that I really would have liked to have so I could upload it. I had like close to 50 Mario Kart videos, all gone, completely gone, which is... it's a bummer, really it is, but maybe sometime in the future I will be able to get that backup stuff, and I don't know, it's goddamn pain in the ass. Anyway, you don't want to hear about my woes, let's just get into this game here. It's an Uber's game against Arcena, whatever, Arcena, I guess, is his name. And yeah, we took this a few days ago, I guess. And so, yeah, I will just jump into it right now and get on with the game. Okay, so I should probably mention that I am in fact the guy on the opposite end because this is from his perspective. So I lead off with Darkrai, and he decides Palkia is a good lead for him. Now, I know that regardless, I'm going to be faster because I am Darkrai with a Scarf, and therefore Darkrai having higher base speed than Palkia, even if he is a Scarf Palkia, I know can outspeed, go for the Dark Void and put him to sleep, and that's exactly what happens. Get a little bit of chip damage with the bad dreams then, not too bad, and now I'm going to be forced to switch because obviously I'm not going to stay in Dark Void because then I'd break Sleep Claws if he switched, and that is probably what he's going to do. He doesn't want to stay in with Palkia, so he's going to switch as I switch, and we get Kyogre versus Kyurem White, which isn't the best of matchups, honestly. I ain't too happy with that because I can't really damage him significantly. I'm Specs, but I don't want to be taking like a Draco to the face or something crap like that. So going to Ferrothorn, predicting the Dragon move, and he, smarter than the average bear, I guess, goes for the Fusion Flare. Nice prediction off the bat, and looking at that damage, it's certainly not Specs. I'm thinking Scarf is more common, and that's probably what it's going to be. Even though the rain is up, I would expect Specs to do a lot more and maybe even take me out, but I live it significantly well with Ferrothorn, so I'm certainly not going to want to stay in to take another one, and I'm going to go into Palkia because 4 times resistance and rain boost allows me to take that hugely well, superbly well. So yeah, obviously he's not going to stay in because he's locked into Fusion Flare, at least that's what I'm assuming, based on everything that we know so far, being Scarfed. And I'm going to lock myself into Hydro Pump because honestly, he's running a Sun team, and aside from Palkia, there's nothing that he has that wants to take a Hydro Pump. Really, there isn't. So he goes into Fortress. I guess it's just going to serve as death fodder here because I don't miss either of my Hydro Pumps. We're not playing Nick today, and works out pretty nicely. Now, he goes into Groudon. I should have really seen this coming because he's going to Groudon, and then he's going to double switch into his own Palkia. Obviously, now that he has the Sun up, his Palkia 4 times resists water, and then the Sun up again, it means that Hydro Pump is going to basically do nothing to his Palkia, but it's not all that bad because he is asleep with his Palkia, so it's not like it's a hugely offensive switch for him because he is kind of incapacitated. So I decided to go into Ferrothorn at this point, thinking, you know what, I can set up some layers of spikes, some hazards going on here, and hopefully take advantage of the fact that his Palkia is asleep right now, especially, Palkia doesn't really have a huge amount to deal with Ferrothorn, so that's what I'm thinking is going to be the best case scenario, even if he wants to try and wake up. But decides to go into Ho-Oh, which is a nice play, particularly in this situation, because my Ferrothorn can't really break the sub. I'm not running Gyro Ball, I'm running Power Whip, which means that a bit of a shitty situation. I'm running double hazards with Spikes and Stealth Rock, and then I believe Power Whip and Leech Seed. I really like running Protect on my Uber's Ferrothorn, but this one doesn't have it for some reason. I guess I left the wrong Ferrothorn in the box, but he gets up a free substitute, which is looks really bad for me because it doesn't seem like I'm going to be able to do anything against this Ho-Oh. But I decided in the process I'm not going to try and leech seed because he is the sub. I didn't want to leech seed on that turn. He was obviously going to sub because then it wouldn't have worked. But I get up spikes and stealth rock, and that's great because a lot of his guys are on the ground, barring Ho-Oh, and obviously Ho-Oh weak to stealth rock. But going to Kyogre, who I don't know, I was kind of a little bit afraid because I didn't think my Kyogre would outspeed the Ho-Oh. But apparently I'm running Specs Ogre, and this Ho-Oh has some weird speed investment because I would really expect Ho-Oh to be faster than Kyogre. I guess he's running all that speed, HP. Sorry, he's running all that HP investment, so maybe he's not so invested on the speed end, meaning that my Specs Kyogre is still able to be faster than him. Go for the Surf, break the sub, and then he's going to go into Palkia to try and 4 times resist it, but we're in the rain. I have Specs, it's Stab, it's Surf. I mean, look at that. It's still a huge amount of damage, and I'm going to be easily able to 2-hit KO his Palkia from this range. His Palkia is dead. That's fantastic, not only because it's a threat eliminated, but also because it opens up the opportunity for my Darkrai to put something else to sleep now that his sleep fodder is exhausted. So, goes into his Kyurem White, which is a pretty great play. Not really a great play. It forces me to stay in and let Kyogre die. Now, there's not a huge deal. I do lose the Weather Wall, but there's nothing on his team that really benefits hugely from Groudon, barring Fusion Flare on the Reshikurem. So, I didn't want to switch in to take a Dragon Pulse. I die with Kyogre, but then it gives me a free opportunity to switch in Scarf Darkrai. As I said before, now I can put something else to sleep, and I know, obviously, that I will outspeed his Kyurem White, regardless if it's Scarfed or not, and go for the Dark Void. He decides he wants to keep his Kyurem White because it's probably offensively one of his most useful Pokemon he has left, so he brings it back, goes into his Groudon, which takes some hazards damage, and obviously Bad Dreams also, and now gives me a free opportunity to switch into something of my choosing to essentially take it down. Now, I go into my Rayquaza, thinking that he's going to switch out as well, and maybe I'll get a nice switch here, but turns out he goes to Mewtwo, which, I don't know what the hell he's got some weird text on the screen there for, but maybe it was part of his narration. Regardless, we're going to ignore it, and moving swiftly onwards, I don't want to stay in to take down the Mewtwo. I'm going to go into Palkia to take the Ice Beam. And then what I'm thinking is that because he shows Life Orb here, he's going to go for Psyshock or Psycho Boost or whatever the fuck it's called. The Super Psy Strike. Psy Strike, that's what it's called. So I'm thinking he's going to go for Psy Strike, knowing that would be enough to take out my Palkia. But no, he goes for Ice Beam again, which is, I don't know, I would expect the Psy Strike, but maybe he didn't want to do it with Darkrai running around. Yeah, I just predicted that when it's Darkrai so I could absorb it because of Dark typing, and then kill him with a Dark Pulse, which, makes my job a lot easier. Mewtwo's a big threat, and now eliminated. So goes into the Ho-Oh, which I don't want to stay in Dark Pulse because I'm afraid that it's not going to be able to do enough, and he's going to be able to, sub and roost. I was basically afraid that if I Dark Pulse, I'd be locked in and stuck there as he recovered, had enough HP to sub, and then it would just be bad in general. So, wanting to avoid that situation entirely, I go into Palkia thinking he's probably going to recover on that turn. He ends up actually going for the Sacred Fire, which works out in the sense that he burns my Palkia, but in all other ways, not really, because now he's exposed, and my Palkia is able to just go for the Hydro Pump or Draco or whatever I wanted to go for, and finish him off. I actually end up going for the Draco, knowing that he still has something, the Kyurem White, I believe, which I didn't want to use a water move on, but especially in the sun. So I go for the Draco, and I missed the first one, but it's not like it really matters. I guess I lose my Palkia in the process, but I guess that kind of works to my benefit because I didn't want like a dud -2 special attack Palkia in here when his Ho-Oh could come in and potentially recover, stall it and stuff, and that would be bad. I don't know, not really a huge deal, but Palkia dies. Go into Rayquaza, banded Rayquaza here with the E-Speed, and this looks like I should be able to do a good amount here. I'm thinking, obviously his Ho-Oh was really slow earlier, so I'm like, okay, I can just Outrage instead of Extreme Speeding, because I wasn't sure whether Banded Extreme Speed would actually take Ho-Oh out from that range. I was just being cautious, really, more than anything, and the fact is, I still have Extreme Speed Arceus left, and his only thing left is his Kyurem White, so not really being afraid. I am locked into Outrage, but, he's fast, he's going to kill me, but now I can go into my Arceus Normaldo. Normaldo? Yeah, Normaldo here. I need to make an Arceus called Normaldo. That's like wow, okay. Whatever. Normaldo comes in. Let's just imagine that's his name, and he kills him with the extreme speed. Yeah, so there we go. That's the game. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you very much for sticking with me and watching. And through my laptop troubles and computer problems and all this bullshit, I'm probably going to have to record some Showdown or PO to replace the content that I would be putting up in the form of PBR and Mario Kart. Or maybe I'll just try and get Nick and Ferris to record more with me, and that would just eliminate the problems as well. That would just help, so I would have more stuff to put up. But regardless, yeah, I'm going to try and do as much stuff as I can. While I'm in the situation, and hopefully within the next couple of weeks, we'll sort myself out a proper desktop. Yeah, but otherwise, thank you. Do leave a like if you enjoyed the video, all that great stuff, and I will see you guys in the next one, I guess. Goodbye.